Welcome, my name is Jeff Bart. I'm the head assistant baseball coach at Santa Rosa Junior College, and today we'll be going over an orientation on creating a sustainable culture in a collegiate baseball program. Creating a strong and sustainable culture in your program is vital to being able to run your program effectively and lead your players to success. The culture of the program is established through the leadership style of the head coach and the standards that are set forth for the players to meet. Once a coach has set these standards, such as hard work, discipline, an emphasis on team building, and the coach-athlete relationship, coaches can effectively lead their players towards a commitment to success. The topic of creating a sustainable culture is directly related to my values, faiths, and beliefs because I believe that coaches are much more than coaches, they're mentors. So I was very fortunate in my playing days in college to play for two head coaches that were transformational leaders, led through mentorship, and created very strong cultures based on the standards of hard work, discipline, and trust. This helped me in my own personal life to become not only a better player, but a better person. And I've taken that with me in my journey as a coach to pay that forward. Creating a sustainable culture starts with the leadership style of the head coach. The coach sets the foundation by the way in which he leads. Based on a study by Lee et al. In 2022, it was found that athletes in the U.S. show a strong preference toward establishing a mentor. That points researchers in the direction towards understanding that transformational leadership style has proven to be more effective in establishing a positive culture than a transactional leadership style. It's also important to understand that in successful cultures, leaders show passion, attention to detail, and the ability to motivate their players. The leadership style of the head coach should prioritize being a transformational leader for their players and a mentor in order to achieve success within their culture. So what is transformational leadership? Transformational leaders display characteristics such as mentorship, sharing beliefs, and showing care and concern. So a transformational leader, like I said before, prioritizes mentorship. He acts as a role model for his players. An example of this would be that if a coach is working a community service project with their players, they may help them out rather than directing them around and making them do the majority of the work. An example in my own personal life with this was playing for Jeremiah Robbins at Lewis Clark State. We would chop wood in the wintertime, and Coach Robbins would grab a maul and he would chop wood alongside with us. Transformational leaders inspire and motivate their followers by creating a vision and setting challenging goals. So it's very important when you're establishing your culture as a leader that you speak with your team directly on what the vision is for your team where you want to end up at the end of the year, and how you're going to get there by setting goals. This differs from a transactional leader because a transactional leader would direct the players towards short-term goals throughout the practice without establishing a vision of where they're going. Research has also shown that intrinsic motivation is a mediator between the relationship of transformational leadership and sports performance. So this basically means that transformational leaders develop intrinsic motivation in their players that help them perform better on the field. The next step in creating your culture is setting a philosophy that you do not wane on. Your philosophy guides you throughout the decisions that you make in your program and allows you to lead effectively. And every coach that's setting a culture and a standard should develop a personal philosophy that goes beyond winning and focuses on the growth of the student athletes. And to go deeper into this topic, developing a successful culture, you should definitely elevate winning amongst your players in a competitive environment. But the motives by which you act on your leadership should have the growth of the student athlete both on and off the field as a higher priority. So it's not to say that winning is not important. Your philosophy should include the fact that you lead with integrity and ethics. Your culture should be an ethical culture built on respect, and it should be led with integrity that does not tolerate any sort of cheating. Your players should be led in such a way that hard work is the only way to get towards success. Included in your philosophy, you should also be dependable for your student athletes. You should be there for them in times of need. You should be able to direct them towards necessary resources if that is what they need. And you should also just be there as a role model, as mentioned before, so they can go to you in times of need. A leader within their leadership style should also prioritize personal and professional growth. It is your duty to your players and to your staff members to continue to develop and grow in your role as a leader. And some ways that can help you in your personal and professional growth include self-assessing your own performance at the end of each year or halfway through the year. And this can allow you to reflect on the way in which you've led your group and how you can make necessary changes to provide a better leadership style for your players. Finding a mentor can facilitate personal growth by allowing you to ask some necessary questions to that person in times when you may not have an answer, and provide you with perspectives on situations that may seem frustrating or stressful, so you don't act on those frustrations and those stressors. The next portion of creating a sustainable culture is student athlete development. A sustainable program should teach their players how to compete to the best of their ability and know and learn how to win and lose. This is a very important aspect of creating your culture, because your culture should be built in such a way that it remains strong in times of winning as well as in times of losing. And teaching your players to compete to their best ability is also a priority as a coach, because if you can teach them to play and compete at their best ability in those times of maybe you've lost a couple games or you get off to a bad start, they can remain engaged, remain together, and compete together in a positive way towards a shared outcome. You should empower your athletes to develop into leadership roles. So your athletes should be able, within your program, to develop into leaders, player leaders that carry out the standard. And another aspect of development is to allow your athletes to play through mistakes and facilitate growth and develop confidence. So more on the student athlete development, you should set high expectations for them in the classroom. And you should inspire them to get better in all aspects of life. You should talk about it within your culture. And you should also provide evaluations to your players throughout the training sessions and the season so they can know where they're at. The coach-athlete relationship is another standard in creating your sustainable culture. Research shows that athletes' intrinsic and extrinsic motivation are impacted by a coach's ability to show autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Research also tells us that player satisfaction also goes up the stronger the coach-athlete relationship. Trust is a significant factor in the coach-athlete relationship. You should develop trust within your players. Research also tells us that higher collective efficacy leads to higher levels of group commitment. Some standards that you should follow when creating a sustainable culture. You should foster a culture of excellence. These are referenced through a study done by qualitative study done by 6 head coaches in collegiate sports that have won multiple national championships. They spoke about fostering a culture of excellence. This culture of excellence demanded high-level commitment and excellence all throughout the program. As a coach, you should instill daily practice routines that revolve around hard work, discipline, and competitiveness. Your practices should be competitive environments where you push the players and ultimately the players push themselves towards greatness. It's very important that you set these standards from day one and you motivate your players to carry out these standards throughout the season. You should build a clear vision about what your goals and aspirations are for your group of players. You should motivate your players to value incremental steps towards greatness. And everything that you do in your program should revolve around these standards and your leadership to help these players excel on and off the field. Team building is another aspect of creating and sustaining the culture that is desired. Team building enhances cohesion, communication, and it can help you identify leaders among your team. The motivations behind implementing team building should be revolve around building relationships, ensuring self-development, and improving communication. Team building provides a non-sport specific environment for your players to get together. These include team dinners, outdoor activities, outdoor challenges. It's just a space where your players can get together off the field and develop these communication and relational traits. It's also important to understand that team building does not improve performance on the field, but it vastly improves your team's ability to trust one another and to communicate effectively. Building a strong and sustainable culture, as stated before, is the key to allowing your players to have success. The transformational leadership style is proven to be an impactful leadership style and the preferred leadership style among coaches and players to building a strong culture. And by setting the standards stated in this presentation, you can create a foundation for your players to work their way towards success and for your culture to be strong in wins and losses. Creating spaces for them off the field can help them develop their relationships and their communication with one another and strengthen your culture. Thank you.